from 23 spot kicks in his Premier League career. That gave Palace hope. They've not graded that much, Chris, but when Ayew stepped up from close range to nod in after an excellent ball from McCarthy, who had a very good game for Palace, we feared the worst. We thought we'd won it through Socrates. That was chucked off by video review. It's been a roller coaster game, but the recriminations, the analysis starts now. It's another one that's got away from us.
Yeah, and I think VAR would be debated long and loud in the studio after the game. What I'd like to see is take a leaf out of rugby's book. If there is going to be an infringement that gets shown to be worth a free kick, then say who it is underneath the screen. Checking for this, checking for that, and then say this is why decisions been made. Show it, show the replays, and then say infringement against 21 Callum Chambers, because people here in the
we don't know.
No idea what's going on.
You know, it's not just us. There are people reporting here, and television companies and us and whatever, and we're trying to suggest to the audience, look, this is why, and we're still not 100%.
Exactly. If there's a clear foul, fine, but tell us who it is, tell us straight away, and we can get on with the game, and the information is around the fans. Yeah,
surely if we go down the video review route, there's got to be a bit of context to it. It can't just be up in the air. Yes, we're changing it, but no one knows.
And I think these things take time to bed in. There are teething problems. I think they'll look at it at the end of the season and make some improvements. I think it's a good thing in essence, but I think you've got to communicate it better.
What's not a good thing is the fact that we've dropped a couple of points here. 2-2 at full time. More analysis to come from Jeremy, who's raced down from Johnny, and first from Nick. Full time here. It is Arsenal 2, Crystal Palace 2.
Yeah, welcome back to Arsenal Nation Live then. Very, very dejected and disappointed studio. Jeremy Aliadière has made it back from the commentary position alongside him. Johnny Cochran, of course. Immediate reaction. We'll go to you first, Johnny. What did you make of that?
Wow. The problem is this, right? I mean, from an Arsenal perspective anyway, there's a tweet that come in at half-time, we talked about it, and it says, here we go, you know, they just made it 2-1, and it was just that feeling that we know how this story ends. And when their second goal went in, I can't say I was even shocked. This is becoming too much of a regular occurrence now. I don't even remember the last time we faced lower opposition, and with respect to Palace, they're a good outfit, but they shouldn't be as good as us. I don't remember the last time we faced an outfit like this, and I felt confident we were going to see them away from a 2-0 lead. That has to change, and I'm sorry to say it hasn't changed up to now, and something needs to be done about it, it really does.
Yeah, Jeremy, I think it's fair to say we went 2-0 up from 2 set pieces, actually, and a lot of people have questioned our creativity over the past few games, and I think we've seen that again. Our 2 goals today, although we went 2-0 up quite quickly, outside of the set pieces, we've struggled to create again.
Yeah, we have, and we've got the player on the pitch to create, really. When you've played with them front three, you should get more opportunity, more shot on target, more opportunity, more situation to score. And then, I said it at half-time, I would, fair enough, score 2 goals, but 2 set piece. So you just feel like in the final third, there's still something missing,
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to go there, don't we? VAR is the big talking point. It's intervened quite a few times today. The Crystal Palace penalty, of course, which we spoke about at half-time. And then to go against us once again, Socrates, we thought Socrates had a 3rd goal, and it turns out I have no idea where and why and how, but there was something in the build-up to the 3rd goal, and it's been overturned. Jeremy, you were out there. You were talking about it with Dan as well. Did you guys come any closer to working out why it's been chalked off?
We think it's something to do with Chambers, because they've kept showing that action again. But before they started showing it, Dan and I thought it would have been a pen for us anyway, because we felt Chambers got fouled. Then actually he's made the foul, so I just can't get my head around it. The more I was seeing it, the more I couldn't see what was wrong in it.
I mean, from my perspective of looking at it, I've seen the same images you have. So first of all, someone said that it might be Lacazette being offside. I don't know if that's the case. I'll hold my hands up and say maybe it was. I don't know. If it is that Chambers thing, and I'm the same as you, I saw them replaying that over and over again, suggesting that seemed to be the point.
That seems to be, because they didn't show anything to do with Lacazette.
Yeah.
So it has to be something to do with Chambers,
and
which...
if that's the case, it's an appalling decision. One, because I've seen it about 9 times, and it wasn't a foul. if anything, I still now, having seen the replay, think it was a foul on Chambers, and it would be a penalty, therefore, which obviously would be cancelled out because we scored the goal. But what gets me about this and the implementation of VAR, if you want to go to VAR to check the goals, for something like this where you are talking about it's a subjective view on whether or not there was contact in the right way, I'm looking at it and I'm telling you I think it was a penalty. So if it's subjective, the match referee should have to take a look at it himself, not just receiving word in his ear from some guy, you know, who could be up in Newcastle making calls, you know, on his iPhone. At the end of the day, that is not right. The referee is judging the match. He should watch the footage and say, do you think, having replayed it in front of your eyes, do you now think that is a foul? If you don't, you stick with your original decision and we go with it. That is an appalling decision.
Yeah, it's so funny, isn't it? Because lots of people before the game today have said, you know, we saw VAR during the Men's World Cup and it was implemented quite well there. We saw referees going up to the monitor quite often, having a look at the action, then making a decision. We're yet to see a Premier League referee having a look at a monitor, so that's disappointing in itself. And I actually put on my own Instagram story earlier on, I was pitch side and the VAR monitor's there, and I actually, like, if you look on my Instagram story, you'll see I kind of zoomed in on the VAR monitor and said, people don't use it, and then this happens.
Well, you needed to tell Martin Atkinson where it was, because I don't think he knows where it was, Nick. That's the problem.
Literally right next door to the tunnel. You've been having your say, of course, online about VAR, and we can see some responses here. Matty saying, I can't believe VAR has ruled out that second Socrates goal, an absolute shambles. I mean, the fact that we're still in here discussing, you know, trying to work out why it's been disallowed, it should speak volumes in itself, Jeremy. I mean, it's a terrible decision.
It's a joke, and to go back to what Johnny said, how can you have a referee that don't make the decision at the end? It's someone else that make that decision. It's not the referee. Referee didn't make the decision. The referee got told there's a foul there, so he gives the foul, but it's not him that made the decision. I thought the referee was supposed to be the one deciding, yeah? He didn't today.
Yeah.
So, it's, you know, it's...
I think, you know, you'll probably be annoyed, or Johnny, you'll probably be annoyed at me looking at it this way. You know, obviously we've been wronged by VAR, or us three in here, and I'm sure thousands of people out there feel the same as well. It didn't look like a foul to me. It looked like it should have been a perfectly good goal. It wasn't, but in my opinion, that wasn't Arsenal's problem today. Arsenal's problem is that we had a 2-goal lead, we let it slip again, and we didn't create enough in this game. It's a disappointing result against an opposition we should be beating.
You're 100% right. And to just talk about VAR would do us an injustice at the moment. We are just not a very good team right now, I've got to be honest. Some of it is...
What would you put it down to, though, Johnny? Because, you know, we've got the personnel. People were excited to see our front three today. You know, we've got all three of them there. What do you put it down to as to why, for some reason, we can't create a lot of chances? Because that's what it is. It's the chance creation. We're being, like, teams are kind of creating more chances than us. Vitoria, for example, had less possession than us. I think they had 30-something percent of the possession, but they still had more shots than us in that game.
I mean, we had a discussion out there, right? We could hear the fans singing they wanted Ozil playing, OK? Like, different fans want different players. That's the way it is. That's the nature of football. My point to you was... we are operating in a system at the moment where we have to rely on individual talents to create moments of genius to spark, you know, goals and opportunities for us. In terms of the cohesion of the team, we need a system that creates chances. If you look at Liverpool and you look at City, they have individual talents. Of course they do. And De Bruyne and your Sterlings and your Salahs or whatever are going to be able to produce moments of brilliance. But it's their system that creates opportunities. We don't have systems, whether it's from an offensive point of view or a defensive point of view, where our players know what they're doing and play their roles, because by playing your role, you create opportunities, whether that is holding your positions or making certain runs or passing quick interplay between people. There seems like a lack of awareness and a lack of understanding of what we're actually meant to be doing at times. And that's why you've got a team like Vitoria or whatever having more chances, because they may not have the same capability of us from a talent point of view, but they know what they're doing. And that is what is so discouraging for us at the moment.
Yeah. Jeremy, what do you think we have to do then going forward? We've got a game on Wednesday against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup up at Anfield. We've also got Leicester and Wolves coming up in the league as well. Going forward, which, you know, especially against Leicester, could be a dangerous game. You know, going forward, what do you want to see? How do we get out of this rut that we seem to be stuck in?
I just want to see a unit. I just want to see a team. I just want to see, fighting spirit. I just want to see togetherness, and you just don't see it, Like we said we were 2-0 up after 10 minutes, but there was something inside me didn't feel confident. You 2-0 up against Palace at home, and you're still worried. It's not right. You just feel that at some time in the game, we're just going to mess up. We're going to not turn up. We're going to make individual mistake, and you just feel like there's, like Johnny said, players get the ball, and then they think, oh, what am I going to do? You should know what you're going to do before you receive the ball, because you get that ball, that player's already made that move because you work here every single day in training, and you don't see that. You just feel like it's 11 players that have been put together that don't know each other. And is that something to do with changing the players every single week? Not working with a starting 11 every day in training in a certain system, and just working at some basic combination, 1-2 on the side, movement. Just like you just don't really, see any team. It's like all individual, like you say. It's just you're hoping for Aubameyang to be at the right spot at the right time to score a goal. But like I said, no one's really created anything as a team. With 2-3 passes, 1-2. For me, the best one today was Tierney. It all came out from him on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
He was going there in the first half. Second half, he got a bit, obviously, tired because, he hasn't played repetition of game for a long time. But for me, he was the best player today.
Yeah, and, we've touched on it already. The creativity is the problem at the moment, and it says it all that basically, I know the third goal was chalked off for us, but all 3 goals that we actually put in the back of the net today came from centre-halves, which in itself is an incredible thing to think about when you've got the front 3 that we have. Right, we should have a look at the results, the Premier League results from today then. We can see there Newcastle Wolves ended 1-1, Arsenal Crystal Palace, obviously we've been talking about that 2-2 here. Liverpool overturned a 1-0 deficit to win 2-1 against Tottenham, which is quite nice, I guess. And then Manchester United 3-1 winners away at Norwich. And off the back of that, we can see the updated Premier League table as well. Not where we wanted to be. Well, I guess we're still in the same position we were when we started, but we wanted to be a little bit closer to Chelsea and Leicester in 4th and 3rd there. So overall, a disappointing day, Johnny.
There's no question about it. I mean, yeah, we can look at it and go, we are where we started, but the whole point is we've given up a game that was a must-win game for my money. If you want to get top 4, Leicester are going to Southampton and beating them up badly. Bloodied noses down there, 9-0. That is scary stuff. We are taking Palace to our own gaff, and they're, coming back, and it's we're now heading into a run of games. You can't say anyone's feeling confident. We've got Leicester, you said it, Wolves and Leicester coming up. I don't feel necessarily confident about those games. And then we start to lose those games or not get the results. We're suddenly nowhere near where we need to be. And then we're going into a really tough run of fixtures, which, needing to win those games, which is a very, very tall order when we're not feeling great about how we're playing. So, yeah, it's not been a very encouraging day, to be honest.
Yeah, right, before we go then, this is how we end every show. A one-word sign-off from you both. Jeremy, have you got a word?
Well, it's gonna have 3. Very, very frustrated.
I'll probably go with worrying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Worrying. I'll stick one in as well. It's not really a word, but VAR. I guess it is what it is, isn't it? Right, thank you for watching Arsenal Nation Live. Of course, thank you to Jeremy and Johnny for joining me as well. Make sure you join us again for our Carabao Cup game against Liverpool on Wednesday evening. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.